In this video, we're going to show you how we game plan throughout the week and how you can be efficient in your game planning. We've partnered with Pro Quick Draw, and this is going to be the basis of this video. We use Pro Quick Draw throughout our season. We're partnered with them through vIQtory as well. So this was an easy video for us to make to show you how we do the process. So let's check it out.
Okay, so now we're going to walk into the first phase of the defensive identification. We're going to steer more towards the offense side of the ball here, but obviously you can flip the script here if you're doing defense. So Dan, walk us through what we're looking at here. This is defensive identification.
Yeah, so this is what I do. So as soon as I go look at the film, so I'll keep the formation up on one screen on Hudl, and then on this screen here, this is what I'll have through PQD. This is our defensive identification chart. So what we're seeing here is pretty much just everything labeled out and how they're going to line up to our specific formation. So we just have our basic Y off formation or H off formation here. And it's just going to be the base alignment and how they line up to it. So we'll get an overfront here. So I'll adjust the tackle coming here. And with this template here, you can adjust really on the fly however you want to. And it's going to save specifically for this specific file. So you don't have to go change it out every single time and edit a new piece every single time. Like I can go move the tackle over 2 inches to the left, save it, and that's its own file. So with the free safety, I'll end up saying the free safety is number 11. I'll eliminate the free safety, just put number 11 here. So I do put the numbers for all these different positions as we go around. And then as I go through, just making sure I check all the different personnel that goes through here.
Yeah, one point I wanted to add too is we'll talk about the plays in a minute, but you didn't make this template in the sense of this is in Pro Quick Draw, right? I just want to pull that up real quick so you can that way everyone can see, that this template, all you have to do is click, and then it's done, right? So,
right.
Yeah, talk more on that.
Yeah, so they have, if you look here, all these different templates that you can use. So there's a couple different templates that I just labeled as Bellingham. So if you see here, like Bellingham Playbook pass, Bellingham Playbook here, a couple ones for Twitter, these are all ones that they have already, and I just went in and I fancied it up and made it our colors. And then getting into the rest of this template here, I always like to go see the weaknesses that I like versus specific defense and based in this formation here. And then I'll pick up a strong run, a weak run, an RPO, drop back and screen. And I'll pick my 5 favorite that I do like, and then I'll make sure that these are on my call sheet. And I usually like to do about 10 different formations that I like based on how they align and based on what film we do see. And then from there, it's going to be easier just to make your game plan and then just to make your call sheet as well, making sure that all these templates or all these best plays that you have here in this column are on your call sheet.
Okay, now we're getting into the run game install portion of this. And a note I want to make too, because I think this is, me and you are high school coaches at the same high school, right? So I've never been prepped on Visio. I know a lot of college coaches are prepped on Visio. We're just using Microsoft PowerPoint here, right? So when we talk about ease of use, I think that's probably one thing I just wanted to make sure I mentioned too, because I know PowerPoint from just elementary school all the way up to, being a senior in college and having to use it even now, just creating slideshows. So just the ease of use and how you use it if you don't use Visio, because I've never used it. Have you ever used Visio?
No. I know the higher level colleges do, and some obviously other college teams use Visio, and I know that's kind of the main thing that people are going to nowadays.
Right.
I don't really know much about it. I just prefer PowerPoint. Like you said, it's what we've used our entire life. So it's
you can use both for this, but I just wanted to make that point too, because it looks fancy, but it's just PowerPoint that's built on top of.
Yeah, it's just and pretty much you do all the drawings. Once the drawings are all in there, then it's going to be so much easier just to input these into your template. So this is our run game install. So we go from our defensive identification chart that we just showed you, and then we look, hey, what's the best run plays that I put down, and say one of them is inside zone. Okay, taking inside zone, I go and I label out all of our inside zone runs versus these specific fronts here. So if you look on the tab on the right, it says our Bellingham offensive run schemes. So it has all of our run concepts with the communication, and that's all going to be versus all different fronts that we may possibly see. So if you get some time in the off season, you want to make a couple drawings, it takes 2 seconds just to go from an overfront to an underfront, draw the lines. And sometimes you don't even have to draw the lines because they have the drawing tool to help you on here as well. So,
right. That's the big point. That's the big point too, right? Is the time it's going to save you. Cause like you said, you probably take an hour, 2 hours in the off season to just draw. Let's say one night you're going to go against a 4-2. Next night you're going to go against a 3-3 stack, and you just draw up inside zone against all of that. You have that for life, essentially.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
you don't need. My point is, you don't need to sit there and draw 100 times inside zone over and over and over again.
Right. Yeah. This file is this file. And if I'm saying a 3-3 stack, I'm saying a 3-3 stack. You can only see a 3-3 stack so many different ways. So these guys are going to block the same guys. If they're a half a shade off, they're still going to block the same guy. So don't overcomplicate it. Just make sure you're just like taking an hour in the off season, just make these drawings, and it's going to be set for the whole season. It makes it so much easier. My game planning process went from 6 to 7 hours on a Sunday to now like 3 hours on a Sunday. It makes it so much easier. But just getting into this template here. So this is like the main look we're going to see, inside zone versus 3-3 stack. If these are the other types of look that we're going to see, so like say they're running an over front when we go 11 personnel, then I make sure that they just know the base run game and our best run that we put on that template versus these other types of look that they may show. Like if they show a Mike A-gap blitz here, then we got to make sure the center peels off and picks up that Mike A-gap blitz. If we do want to add a play, so say we wanted to just add an H insert play, all we do, the play is already drawn itself here, and then I just go double click it here, and then it adds into the template down here. It's a full field, so it's a little bit smaller here, but you can see down here that we are getting just an H insert install going into the template. So you can see that's how it's drawn up, that's how it's blocked, and all the kids are able to see now the new adjustments to the play that we put in. So this is our run game install. I keep it pretty simple. I don't go too in depth with it, but it's good to just see like the main front that they're going to see up top here, just to make sure that that's the bullet point. That's what we need to make sure we block against, and the different ways to block against it, as well as the different fronts that you may see, different defensive adjustments that you may see as well.
Okay, now we're going to take a look at the pass game install, correct, and how you go about labeling that.
Yeah, so pass game, it's always great to just give an example to these kids, right? So you want to be able to show a visual to them. They love NFL clips. They love college clips. They love looking on Sunday and saying, hey, like this is something that we ran this week because the Detroit Lions ran it, right? If I like an install that week, I'll always try and find some NFL film. So this is the template I use. It's just a 2-level template here where I have the play install on the top here. So here, this is a China concept that's going in, essentially just a 3x1 smash concept. And I have an example here on the bottom where it's just the Detroit Lions running a 3x1 smash concept, pretty much this up top here, and they end up hitting it for a big place. And then they have the play on the video where like, oh, that's cool. I see how it's run. Now I'm able to go and use that on Friday night too. Right. So along with this NFL clip, you can also integrate Hudl into PQD as well, and you can have access to your whole entire video library through PQD itself. If you want to go and install something that you put in a couple of years ago, say you go to the 2022-2023 season, you go to any specific game that you want, and you like a specific play from when you played a specific team back then, you can go to that game, go and add that clip into the template here instead of this NFL clip, and then that can be your base install as well.
Yeah, okay, so you just double click and it would add on to there. Again, I know you made the point earlier, but this isn't involved in the base package. This is an add-on that obviously you have to purchase on top of the base PQD package. And I think it's worth it in the sense of just being able to relate your actual Hudl database to the Playbook feature and just be able to, because without having click back and forth, like you don't want to have to screen record and then throw it onto there and then screen record. No, then you got to delete videos off the screen record, and it's just a big pain. It's so much easier just to double click and go. So that's why I'm a big fan of this feature. It's a lot easier to use.
Yeah, and the beauty of this, you can also export it back into Hudl, so you can make an entire presentation on this. You can make a 10-page game plan slide or game plan presentation and then upload it back into Hudl, just in case you don't have PQD on that computer. You can take it from your PC at home like I have and then upload it to Hudl, and then it's on your Hudl film whenever you're in the school. So it's on your
best
Hudl
way to
database.
think of it. Yeah, best way to think of it is just they're essentially talking to each other.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's all it is. I can send you information back and forth, and it seamlessly adds on. All right, so we always talk about this throughout our other videos too, about not creating paralysis by analysis, right? Like we don't want to overwhelm our kids with just loads and loads of data where they don't know where to go. This is just a simple 9-box that you've created, right? So you can just give to the kids, or at least show to the kids on your Monday install, and just say, hey, like these are the looks you're going to get, the most common looks you're going to get. Walk us through this 9-box that you've created.
Yeah, so this is where your work in the off season, or the little time that you can put in to create these different defensive alignments, defensive fronts, and defensive blitzes too, are really going to help you. It just makes this process a lot easier, because then you can start to put like an A-gap blitz is an A-gap blitz. Like there's only so many ways you can run it. So if you get the main ones down that you think you're going to see that year, it makes this process a lot easier. So I separate this here. I do my top 3 fronts that we're going to see this week, or the top 3 defensive fronts we're going to see this week. We're going to get the top 3 blitzes that we'll see, and then the top 3 coverages based on the specific type of formation that we like that week. So for example here, I'll make this right in front of you just so you see how fast it is. So the base fronts here, I have all my base fronts here. So say we're still going to stick with an Oki stack that we're going to see. You click the Oki stack box and our Oki stack comes up. And then their other fronts, we're going to be an over front. So we're going to go even over and say they also stem to the over front too. Click even stem over. And then this is their 3 main fronts that they're going to see. If you want to go to blitzes now, if you want to go to base pressures here, I identify my blitzes alpha, beta, and then double fire. So that's going to be any A-gap blitz is alpha. So say we're going to get an alpha cover 0. So you click the alpha cover 0. It shows everyone's in cover 0. We're getting an alpha blitz as well as a fire blitz off the edge. If we're going to get a beta boundary blitz, which means we're going to get a B-gap blitz from the boundary, then we're going to get something like this. And then just say we're going to go what we call an overload blitz. We're getting this sort of blitz coming here. We're getting 4 to one side. So those are the 3 main blitzes. So within 30 seconds, you already have 6 templates or 6 parts of this template made. Then you're going to go to coverages, which I just put under our defensive alignment here. And then how are they aligning to our deuces here? They're getting a cover 3. Okay. Deuces cover 3. That's in. Bang. Okay. Now I'm going to go to our trips nub formation. Click that. Shows the alignment there, and then they're going to go cover 6 or say some sort of cover 6 versus our trips. Then I put that up there. Now our whole entire template's made already just from a couple of clicks, and it's going to show all the different formations and all the main looks that we're going to see. So I'll take this and I'll put it up on our projector when we do our game plan, as well as if they want copies of it or if they want a screenshot sent to them, I'll set this to them as well. But this is just, it makes it a lot simpler so that they're not seeing, okay, I know to myself that they run probably 4 or 5 different blitzes, but they've only shown these top 3 a majority of the time. There's no sense of me trying to go over 6 or 7 different blitzes with them and letting them worry and let their mind wander. Just show them the top 3 that they ran more than 3 or 4 times, and then show their main coverages that they're going to run. It makes your life a heck of a lot easier too, and their brain isn't thinking as much.
Right. And just one thing I want to add too, like you had to go in and make these plays. PQD is essentially the framework for you to install your stuff. It's not preloaded with plays. It's not preloaded with, what you have on the screen here. So I just want to make that point that you had to go in. Like you said, you take a couple hours in the off season to do this. By the time you hit the in season, you just click. It took you 45 seconds to do that, and then you're good to go for your install. So I think this is great too for coaches to see it visually. And it's just something you could pass around to everybody just so everyone knows what are the top 3 things that are going to hurt you. If you can essentially identify that and expose that, then you probably win the football game on Friday night.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And it's good to see just like everything on the side over here. If you can really just take the time in the off season, just take a couple minutes a day, even if you need to, but you can just make these all separate files. And then just by moving the nose over a half an inch this way and then a half an inch this way, you have a new file that's your underfront from there. So then you can go from there and make it work. So it's super easy to use. It makes your game planning process so much easier.
So that's our game planning process. If you do have any questions, let us know in the comment section below. We're happy to help out. And if we can't get the answer for you, we'll make sure that PQD does. Dan, appreciate you walking through all of that. Mm-hmm. And make sure you go check out the PQD guys. We'll leave a link in the description below to go check that out. Again, we are partnered with those guys. We don't partner with many companies, so I'm proud to say that we are partners with them. Because of the great work that they do. So thanks for watching. Check out this video here next, and we'll see you next time.